Imagine for a moment that the most important relationship you have in your life is the one with yourself. In the world around us, we are often conditioned to seek validation from others, to define our worth through external measures, our achievements, our possessions, our status. But here's the truth: true value doesn't come from outside of you. It's not a product of what you do or how others perceive you. It comes from within. From the moment you were born, you were inherently valuable. The world around you may have tried to tell you otherwise, shaping you with its expectations, judgments, and comparisons, but at your core, your worth is not something that is earned, acquired, or granted by anyone or anything outside of yourself. It is something you were born with, an intrinsic part of your being that cannot be measured or diminished by external circumstances. Too often, we spend our lives chasing validation, seeking approval from others, or striving for achievements that we believe will prove our worth. We place our value in titles, accolades, or possessions, thinking that these things define who we are. The truth is, these are just fleeting markers that do not change the fundamental truth of your being. You don't need to do anything to prove that you are worthy. You simply are worthy because you exist. The struggle to prove your worth often comes from external pressures, societal expectations, or past experiences that made you feel less than, as though your value is conditional on how others see you or how well you perform. The need to earn worth is a mindset that has been ingrained over time, but it is an illusion that holds you back from seeing your true potential. When you begin to understand that your value is not contingent on these external factors, you open yourself to a new way of being, one where you are free to live authentically without the constant need to prove yourself. This shift in perspective is a powerful one. It means letting go of the idea that you must constantly strive to be something or someone else. When you recognize that your self-worth is innate, you begin to see that you are enough, just as you are. You no longer need to measure up to others' standards or seek external approval. This realization is the first step toward personal freedom and empowerment. Valuing yourself means accepting all aspects of who you are: the strengths, the flaws, the successes, and the failures. Every part of your story, every experience you've gone through, adds to the richness of your being. Your worth is not diminished by the mistakes you've made or the challenges you've faced. Instead, they are part of the journey that has shaped you. Your past doesn't define you, but it can empower you to step into your value even more. In the quest for self-worth, many people look outside themselves for answers, whether it's in the form of achievements, relationships, or material possessions. However, this external focus often leads to feelings of inadequacy, because no matter how much you acquire or how much you accomplish, it may never feel like enough. The truth is, no amount of external validation can ever fill the void of not recognizing your own inherent value. When you place your worth in things outside of yourself, you allow those things to control how you feel about who you are. You become trapped in a cycle of seeking approval, which only reinforces the belief that your value is conditional. The beauty of recognizing that self-worth is innate is that it liberates you from this cycle. It shifts the focus from seeking approval to embracing your own inner truth. You begin to realize that you don't need to chase after anything to be worthy, because you already possess everything you need within you. The external world may change, circumstances may shift, and people may come and go, but your worth remains constant, grounded in the truth of who you are. This understanding has the power to transform your life. When you truly know and accept your intrinsic worth, you begin to make decisions that align with your highest good. You no longer settle for relationships, jobs, or situations that don't honor your value. You begin to set boundaries, to advocate for yourself, and to take actions that reflect the deep respect you have for who you are. The more you recognize your value, the more you naturally attract experiences that reflect that recognition. Remember, your worth is not something you have to work for, it is something you are born with. It is part of your DNA, woven into the very fabric of your being. The moment you accept this truth, you begin to unlock the full potential within you. You become free to live in alignment with your authentic self, unburdened by the need to prove your worth to anyone. And in doing so, you not only honor yourself, but you also inspire others to do the same. In a world that often teaches us to seek validation from outside sources, the most powerful thing you can do is remember that your worth is already within you. You don't need to earn it or prove it. You simply need to recognize it, embrace it, and live it. How you perceive yourself has the power to shape your entire reality. The way you see yourself is not just a reflection of your thoughts, it is the lens through which you experience the world. Every belief you hold about your capabilities, your worth, and your potential colors your actions and influences the outcomes you create. The perception you have of yourself is the foundation upon which your life is built. If you see yourself as capable and deserving, you will act in ways that reinforce those beliefs. If you see yourself as incapable or unworthy, your actions will reflect that, often limiting your potential before you even begin to try. This perception, however, is not fixed or permanent. It is a construct shaped by your experiences, past interactions, and the stories you've told yourself over the years. Many of us develop a perception of ourselves that is influenced by our upbringing, society's expectations, and the feedback we receive from others. We internalize these messages and begin to define ourselves based on them, often without realizing it. But the truth is that the perception we have of ourselves is not the truth of who we are. It is simply an interpretation. And like all interpretations, it can be changed. The first step in reshaping your reality is to recognize that you have the power to change how you see yourself. This is not about becoming someone else, it's about discovering the truth of who you are beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and false perceptions. When you begin to see yourself in a new light, the world around you starts to reflect that shift. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach begin to appear, relationships become more fulfilling, and challenges that once felt insurmountable become manageable. Your external reality is a mirror of your internal beliefs and perceptions. So, by changing the way you see yourself, you change the way you experience the world. One of the most powerful tools in reshaping your self perception is awareness. Awareness allows you to step outside of the automatic, habitual ways of thinking that have been ingrained in you. It gives you the space to recognize when you are operating from a place of old, limiting beliefs and to consciously choose to shift your perspective. This process requires self reflection and a willingness to examine the stories you've been telling yourself. Ask yourself, is this belief about myself truly serving me? Is this perception based on my true potential, or is it a result of past conditioning? By questioning these beliefs, you begin to create space for new, empowering ones to emerge. The process of changing your perception also involves forgiveness. Many of us hold on to past mistakes, failures, or criticisms, and we allow these events to define us. We carry the weight of these past experiences as though they are permanent markers of our worth or capabilities. But the reality is that our mistakes do not define us, they are simply experiences that offer valuable lessons. When you forgive yourself for your past, you release the hold that these old perceptions have over you. You free yourself to see yourself as a person capable of growth, change, and transformation. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not dictate who you are or who you can become. As you begin to shift your self perception, it is important to replace old, negative beliefs with new, empowering ones. Start by focusing on your strengths, your accomplishments, and the qualities that make you unique. Remind yourself regularly of your inherent worth and the potential within you. This can be done through daily affirmations, visualization, or simply taking time to reflect on your achievements and the progress you've made. The more you reinforce positive self perception, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind, gradually shifting the way you think and act. It is also essential to surround yourself with people who reflect your new perception of yourself. The people you spend the most time with have a significant impact on how you see yourself. If you are constantly around people who belittle you, undermine your confidence, or reinforce negative beliefs, it becomes much harder to shift your self perception. Seek out relationships that support and uplift you, those who encourage you to grow, who see the potential in you, and who believe in your abilities. When you surround yourself with positive influences, it becomes easier to see yourself through a lens of possibility and greatness. Another key aspect of changing your perception is taking action. As you begin to see yourself differently, it is important to back that up with new actions that align with your true potential. If you've held yourself back in the past due to fear or self doubt, take small steps toward pushing through those limitations. Every action you take toward your goals reinforces the new perception of yourself as someone capable, worthy, and empowered. This creates a powerful feedback loop where your new perception leads to new actions, and those actions reinforce the perception even further. Remember, your self perception is not a reflection of your limitations, it is a reflection of the beliefs you hold about yourself. By shifting those beliefs, you shift the way you show up in the world and ultimately the life you create for yourself. You are not confined by the past or by what others have told you. You are free to see yourself as capable, worthy, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. By changing the way you perceive yourself, you unlock the power to transform your reality in profound and meaningful ways.
Releasing negative beliefs is a critical step in the process of valuing yourself, yet it is often one of the most challenging. Many of the beliefs that limit our potential are so deeply ingrained that they become part of our identity. These negative beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or the opinions of others, and over time, we internalize them as truths. The belief that we are not good enough, not worthy of success, or not deserving of happiness can become a constant part of our internal dialogue, leading us to hold ourselves back in various areas of our lives. However, the most empowering realization is that these negative beliefs are not facts, they are simply thoughts that we have accepted as truth, and they can be changed. The first step in releasing negative beliefs is to become aware of them. We cannot change what we do not acknowledge, and often these limiting beliefs operate beneath the surface, influencing our actions and decisions without us even realizing it. For instance, you might hold the belief that you are not capable of achieving your dreams, but this belief may be so ingrained that it runs on autopilot, shaping your behavior and keeping you from taking the necessary steps toward your goals. Awareness is the key to breaking this cycle. You need to take a step back and examine the beliefs that are running your life. Ask yourself, what are the beliefs I have about myself that are holding me back? Where do these beliefs come from? And are they based on facts or past experiences that no longer serve me? Once you have identified the negative beliefs that are limiting you, the next step is to challenge them. Often these beliefs are based on past failures, criticisms, or societal messages that we have internalized over time. But when you take a closer look, you might realize that these beliefs are not as solid as they seem. For example, if you believe that you are not smart enough to succeed in your chosen field, examine the evidence. Is this belief based on a single event or a series of experiences that happened long ago? Or does it come from the opinions of others that you have adopted as your own? By asking these questions, you begin to break down the illusion that these negative beliefs are unchangeable truths. Challenging negative beliefs involves confronting the stories you've been telling yourself for years. These stories are often rooted in fear or past pain, and they become a way to protect ourselves from potential disappointment or rejection. For example, if you've been told repeatedly by others that you won't succeed, you may adopt that belief as a way to protect yourself from the fear of failure. But in reality, these stories are just that, stories. They are not the truth of who you are or what you are capable of. Once you realize this, you can start to rewrite the narrative that has been controlling your life. Another key aspect of releasing negative beliefs is self-compassion. Many of us are our own harshest critics, and the negative beliefs we hold about ourselves are often compounded by feelings of shame and guilt. When we make mistakes or fall short of our expectations, we tend to internalize these moments as evidence of our inadequacy. However, self-compassion allows us to approach our flaws and mistakes with kindness, rather than judgment. It involves treating ourselves with the same understanding and care that we would offer a close friend. When we practice self-compassion, we give ourselves permission to be imperfect and to learn from our mistakes without letting them define our worth. One of the most effective tools for releasing negative beliefs is affirmations. By consciously replacing limiting beliefs with positive, empowering thoughts, we begin to reprogram our minds. For instance, if you've been telling yourself that you are not worthy of success, you can replace that belief with an affirmation such as, "I am deserving of success and happiness." These affirmations may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you have spent years believing the opposite. But the more you repeat them, the more they begin to shift your internal dialogue. Affirmations help you to rewire your subconscious mind, gradually replacing old, limiting beliefs with new, supportive ones. In addition to affirmations, visualization is another powerful tool for releasing negative beliefs. When you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's achieving a personal goal or stepping into a new role, you are training your mind to see success as possible. Visualization works by creating a mental image of success, which activates the same areas of the brain that are involved in real-life actions. By repeatedly visualizing positive outcomes, you begin to replace the belief that failure is inevitable with the belief that success is not only possible but within your reach. Visualization allows you to see yourself in a new light, one where you are capable, deserving, and empowered. The process of releasing negative beliefs is not an overnight fix, it is an ongoing practice. Our minds are conditioned over time, and undoing years of ingrained beliefs takes patience and persistence. However, the more you work on releasing negative beliefs, the easier it becomes. With consistent effort, you begin to notice shifts in your thinking and behavior. You begin to make decisions from a place of empowerment rather than fear. You take actions that align with your true potential, rather than limiting yourself based on past beliefs. Over time, the negative beliefs that once held you back lose their grip, and you start to see yourself as you truly are capable, worthy, and deserving of all the success and happiness you desire. As you release negative beliefs, you create space for new, positive beliefs to take their place. These beliefs, rooted in self-worth and possibility, become the foundation for a life that aligns with your true potential. Every step you take toward releasing limiting beliefs is a step toward embracing the limitless possibilities that are available to you. The more you let go of what no longer serves you, the more room you create for growth, change, and transformation. By releasing negative beliefs, you not only free yourself from the constraints of your past, but you also unlock the door to a future filled with opportunity and self-empowerment. Developing a deep sense of self-worth requires understanding that your value does not come from external accomplishments, approval, or validation. In fact, the pursuit of external validation can be one of the greatest barriers to truly embracing your inherent worth. We live in a world that constantly measures success, beauty, intelligence, and achievement through external standards, whether it's social media likes, professional milestones, or societal expectations. While these things may feel gratifying in the moment, they do not define your true worth. These external markers are fleeting, and when your self-esteem is based on them, it creates a fragile foundation that can easily be shaken. To truly value yourself, you must learn to look inward, trusting in your own inherent value, rather than relying on what others say or think about you. At the core of self-worth is the understanding that you are enough, just as you are. The truth is, we all have a deep-seated need for love, acceptance, and belonging, but these needs should not be tied to external factors. Society has conditioned us to seek validation outside ourselves, making us feel that we must prove our worth to the world. Whether it's trying to meet others' expectations, comparing ourselves to others, or striving for perfection, this constant chase for external validation keeps us disconnected from our true selves. When we operate from a place of seeking approval from others, we place our self-worth in the hands of those around us, subject to their judgments, expectations, and perceptions. The reality is that your value does not depend on others' opinions, and when you begin to believe this, you can start to live more authentically. The journey to valuing yourself begins with letting go of the need to seek external validation. This doesn't mean that you stop caring about the opinions of others or stop striving for excellence. Rather, it means learning to value yourself regardless of external praise or criticism. When you can internalize your worth, you no longer need to rely on others to feel good about yourself. You no longer measure your success by how much others approve of you or by how much you accomplish. Instead, you learn to appreciate yourself for the unique person that you are, understanding that your value is inherent and not dependent on anything outside of you. A critical part of this journey is learning to set boundaries that protect your sense of self-worth. Many people allow others to dictate how they should feel about themselves, whether it's through criticism, comparison, or unrealistic expectations. These influences can slowly chip away at our confidence and self-esteem. By setting healthy boundaries, you assert your right to maintain your inner sense of value, regardless of how others may treat you or what they may expect from you. Setting boundaries allows you to protect your emotional well-being and ensures that you do not allow external negativity or toxic behavior to undermine your sense of self. When you value yourself, you understand that it is not only acceptable but necessary to protect your mental and emotional health from those who do not respect you. Self-worth is also about practicing self-compassion. It's easy to be critical of yourself when you make mistakes or fail to meet expectations, but this only reinforces feelings of inadequacy. To truly value yourself, you must learn to treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that you would offer a loved one. Self-compassion involves accepting your flaws and imperfections without judgment, recognizing that mistakes are part of being human and do not diminish your value. Instead of focusing on your shortcomings, self-compassion encourages you to focus on your strengths, your growth, and your ability to learn from challenges. When you cultivate a compassionate relationship with yourself, you build a foundation of self-worth that is not based on perfection but on acceptance and love. Another key aspect of valuing yourself is recognizing that your worth is not tied to your productivity. In a society that glorifies busyness and constant achievement, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your value is determined by how much you accomplish. However, true self-worth is not found in the hustle or in the number of tasks you can check off your list. It's found in your ability to be present with yourself, to acknowledge your feelings, and to take care of your mental and emotional health. When you place your value on productivity, you risk burning out and losing touch with the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. Valuing yourself means understanding that you are worthy of rest, peace, and self-care, and that your value is not dependent on your ability to always be busy or productive. As you begin to value yourself, you start to create a life that aligns with your deepest desires, not with what others expect of you. You become more attuned to your own needs and desires, rather than constantly striving to meet external demands. This shift in perspective allows you to pursue your goals with a sense of purpose and fulfillment, rather than seeking validation through the achievement of those goals. When you value yourself, you approach life with a sense of inner peace, knowing that you are worthy of success, happiness, and all the good things that life has to offer, without needing to prove it to anyone else. Learning to value yourself is also a process of letting go of comparison. We live in a world where comparison is rampant, whether it's through social media, career success, or the achievements of others. It's easy to look at someone else's life and feel inadequate, but comparison only undermines your sense of self-worth. Each person's journey is unique, and your worth is not determined by how you measure up to someone else. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you free yourself to live authentically and to embrace your own path. This allows you to focus on your own growth and achievements, rather than constantly feeling like you are falling short. Valuing yourself means recognizing that you have your own unique contributions to make to the world, and that your worth does not depend on being like anyone else. Ultimately, valuing yourself is about recognizing that you are enough, just as you are. It's about understanding that your value is not contingent on what others think, how much you accomplish, or how well you measure up to societal standards. Your worth is inherent in your being, and when you begin to accept and embrace that truth, you are free to live a life that is aligned with your authentic self. You stop seeking approval and start living with confidence, self-respect, and the deep knowing that you are worthy of all the love, success, and happiness that life has to offer.
A crucial element in valuing yourself is learning to embrace and honor your uniqueness. Each person is different with their own set of experiences, perspectives, and qualities that make them who they are. Too often, we compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth against what we see in those around us or against the standards that society has set. This comparison, though natural, is one of the most damaging habits we can fall into because it leads to a distorted sense of self and can undermine our confidence. We begin to feel as though we are not enough or that we need to change who we are to fit in, to be loved, or to be successful. In truth, the very things that make you different are the things that make you valuable. When you start to embrace your uniqueness, you allow yourself to step into your true potential. You understand that you are not meant to be like anyone else, you are meant to be the best version of yourself. Your individuality is what gives you strength, and when you stop trying to be like everyone else, you free yourself to live authentically. This requires shedding the false belief that you must meet some arbitrary standard in order to be valuable. Instead, you begin to understand that your worth is not defined by external markers, but by the very essence of who you are. You have something special to offer the world, and that is something that no one else can replicate. In a world that often celebrates conformity and sameness, it can be easy to lose sight of the power in being different. Society tends to reward people who fit into a particular mold, whether it's a standard of beauty, intelligence, or achievement. However, this focus on fitting in creates an environment where people feel pressured to suppress their authentic selves. The truth is, it is in your uniqueness that you find your true strength. When you embrace who you are, flaws and all, you step into a place of power and authenticity that is undeniable. This shift in mindset allows you to let go of the need for validation from others and instead live according to your own values and beliefs. A significant part of embracing your uniqueness involves acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses without judgment. We often judge ourselves harshly for not being perfect, for making mistakes, or for having areas in which we struggle. But when you truly value yourself, you understand that your imperfections are not a reflection of your worth. They are simply part of being human, and they are what give you the opportunity to grow. Every person has their strengths and weaknesses, and by accepting both, you allow yourself to cultivate self compassion. This acceptance means recognizing that you are worthy of love and respect regardless of your imperfections. You don't need to be flawless to be valuable. You are valuable because of who you are, not because of your achievements or how others perceive you. Another key aspect of embracing your uniqueness is letting go of the need for external approval. Too often, we base our decisions and actions on what we think will make others happy or what will earn us their approval. This can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and a lack of fulfillment because we are living for others instead of for ourselves. When you start to value your uniqueness, you begin to make choices that align with your true desires and needs, not based on the expectations of others. This shift allows you to live authentically without the constant pressure to please or conform. It is a liberating experience as you realize that you are free to be yourself without the burden of seeking approval from anyone else. In addition to letting go of the need for validation, embracing your uniqueness means owning your individuality with pride. There is a power that comes with being unapologetically yourself. When you are confident in who you are, others are more likely to respect and admire you for your authenticity. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin because they exude a sense of self assurance and confidence that is contagious. When you own your uniqueness, you are also giving others permission to do the same. You become a beacon of inspiration for those around you, encouraging them to embrace their own individuality and value their own worth. This process of embracing your uniqueness is not about becoming arrogant or self centered. It is about recognizing your intrinsic worth and celebrating the qualities that make you who you are. You don't have to apologize for being different, for having your own perspectives, or for not fitting into a box. Your differences are what make you special, and by honoring them, you open the door to a life of fulfillment and authenticity. It's about finding peace and knowing that you are enough as you are and that you have something valuable to contribute to the world. Embracing your uniqueness allows you to stop living in the shadow of others and to step fully into the light of your own potential. As you begin to value your uniqueness, you start to see the world differently. You realize that everyone is on their own journey with their own challenges, strengths, and weaknesses. The need to compare yourself to others fades away as you understand that you are on your own unique path. This shift in perspective allows you to appreciate the diversity of life and to celebrate the unique qualities that others bring to the table. When you stop comparing yourself, you open yourself up to the possibility of genuine connection and understanding free from judgment and competition. You begin to recognize that the beauty of life lies in its diversity and that every individual has something valuable to offer. In the end, embracing your uniqueness is about reclaiming your personal power and stepping into your authentic self. It is about understanding that you do not need to change who you are in order to be valuable or worthy. You are worthy because of the very essence of your being, and your uniqueness is what makes you special. When you embrace this truth, you free yourself from the constraints of comparison, approval, and perfectionism. You begin to live a life that is true to who you are, filled with confidence, self compassion, and authenticity. And when you do this, you not only create a life that is fulfilling for yourself, but you also inspire others to do the same. One of the most important aspects of valuing yourself is learning to trust your intuition and your inner guidance. Often, in our pursuit of success, happiness, and approval, we look to the outside world for answers. We rely on advice from others, societal norms, and external benchmarks to tell us what we should do, how we should act, and who we should be. While these outside influences can provide some guidance, they should never outweigh your own inner wisdom. When you begin to value yourself, you realize that the answers you seek are already within you. And by trusting your intuition, you can begin to live in alignment with your true self. Intuition is not a mystical or elusive concept. It is simply the inner knowing that arises from within, often without the need for rational explanation. It's that gut feeling, that sense of knowing, or that voice inside that guides you toward the decisions that are right for you. When you learn to trust your intuition, you stop second guessing yourself and become more confident in the choices you make. Trusting yourself means recognizing that you have the ability to make decisions that align with your values and desires. It's about learning to listen to that inner voice, even when it goes against what others might suggest or what seems logical on the surface. The process of learning to trust your intuition often requires quieting the noise around you. In today's fast paced world, we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and advice from every direction. Social media, news outlets, friends, family, and colleagues can all contribute to this overwhelming influx of external input. When you value yourself, you recognize the importance of tuning into your own thoughts and feelings instead of being swept away by the opinions of others. This may mean creating space for reflection and stillness so that you can hear your inner voice more clearly. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone in nature, creating time for introspection allows you to reconnect with yourself and cultivate a deeper sense of trust in your own instincts. Trusting your intuition also involves learning to accept that mistakes are part of the process. We often fear making the wrong decision, which leads to hesitation and self doubt. However, true growth comes from making choices, even if they don't always lead to the desired outcome. When you trust your intuition, you understand that no decision is truly wrong because each one offers valuable lessons. Every experience, whether positive or negative, teaches you something about yourself and your path. Embracing this mindset allows you to move through life with greater confidence, knowing that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. It is through this trust in yourself that you can navigate the uncertainty of life with resilience. Moreover, trusting your intuition is deeply connected to self acceptance. When you value yourself, you understand that you are capable of making the best decisions for your life based on your unique experiences and desires. You stop relying on others to tell you what is best for you and begin to take responsibility for your own choices. This doesn't mean you should ignore the advice of trusted friends or mentors, but rather that you should prioritize your own inner knowing above all else. Trusting yourself means having the confidence to stand by your decisions, even when they may not align with the expectations of others. You recognize that your choices are valid because they come from a place of authenticity and self awareness. The ability to trust your intuition also encourages you to let go of the need for perfection. Many people hesitate to make decisions because they fear making a mistake or not doing something perfectly. This fear of failure often stems from a lack of self trust and a belief that you are not capable of handling whatever comes your way. However, when you value yourself, you understand that there is no such thing as perfect. Life is full of unknowns, and the beauty lies in the journey, not the destination. Trusting your intuition allows you to embrace the imperfection of life and move forward with a sense of self assurance, knowing that you are capable of navigating whatever comes next. In addition, trusting your intuition strengthens your sense of personal power. When you consistently listen to your inner guidance and make decisions based on your intuition, you reinforce the belief that you are in control of your life. You stop waiting for external permission or validation, and instead you begin to trust that you have everything you need within you to succeed. This sense of empowerment comes from knowing that you are not at the mercy of circumstances, but that you have the ability to create the life you want by listening to and trusting yourself. Another key component of trusting your intuition is the ability to set boundaries that protect your sense of self. When you trust your inner voice, you become more discerning about the people and situations you allow into your life. You begin to recognize when something or someone is not aligned with your values or your well being, and you have the courage to say no. Setting boundaries is an act of self respect, and it allows you to preserve your energy for the things and people that truly nurture and support you. Trusting your intuition helps you recognize when to push forward and when to step back, creating a balanced life that honors your needs and desires. Learning to trust your intuition is also a process of letting go of control. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that you must have everything figured out and that you must control every aspect of your life. However, when you trust yourself, you realize that you don't need to have all the answers. You learn to flow with life, making decisions based on your inner guidance while remaining open to whatever comes your way. This ability to surrender control and trust in the process brings a sense of peace as you stop trying to force outcomes and instead allow life to unfold naturally. Ultimately, the more you trust your intuition, the more you will feel empowered to live a life that aligns with your true self. Trusting yourself means embracing the belief that you are capable of making choices that are in your best interest, that you have the wisdom to navigate life's challenges, and that you are worthy of the life you desire. It is a practice of letting go of doubt and embracing self assurance. When you trust your intuition, you unlock a deeper connection to yourself, to your purpose, and to the limitless potential that lies within you.